Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and feeling your heart racing, as if a phone were ringing non-stop in the next room. Have you ever experienced this? Anxiety doesn't have a set time, nor does it ask for permission. And contrary to what many people think, it's not just a silly worry. It's like a poorly tuned radio, crackling and interrupting your breakfast. Today, I'm going to show you how you can turn off this internal radio without having to resort to the same remedies over and over again. And I want to tell you a secret. There's a simple, enjoyable solution that can transform your days and nights in a way you may never have tried. In this video, you'll discover how small changes to your sound environment can alleviate anxiety after 60. I'll reveal the step-by-step process for creating a calm haven at home using soft classical music and sounds of nature. It sounds like magic, but it's science. And more than 80% of seniors report feeling immediate relief by listening to just 10 minutes of music. Want to wake up without that tension in your shoulders? Go to sleep without counting sheep until 3 in the morning? Stay with me, because I'm going to show you how to make it a reality. Why is this topic so crucial? Because unlike what was said in the days of valve radio, anxiety is not a whim for young people. It knocks on the door of those who have seen a lot in life. And it can steal not only sleep, but also the pleasure of a coffee, the enthusiasm to walk in the square, and even the desire to talk. The truth is that the more mature we become, the more we need practical tools to deal with everyday worries. It is no exaggeration. Anxiety can increase blood pressure, hinder memory, and turn a peaceful afternoon into a whirlwind of thoughts. Now, take a deep breath with me. If I told you that listening to the sound of leaves in the wind can lower your heart rate by up to 23%, would you believe me? Well, that is exactly what the most recent research shows. And if before only those in the know had access to classical music, today it is just a click away. Who would have thought, huh? Remember when you had to wait for the evening program to hear your favorite song? Now, serenity is always at hand. As we embark on this journey of sound, I would like to invite you to think of the sound environment in your home as a garden. Each sound is a seed that has been planted. If you choose and take good care of them, you will soon reap the flowers of tranquility. And so, let's discover together how to cultivate lighter days and more serene nights. And speaking of small changes, let's meet Roberto. He has always been an active man, the kind who loves to take an early walk and chat with his neighbors. But a few months ago, something changed. He started to feel a tightness in his chest every time silence fell over the house. The clock would strike 9 at night, the street would go quiet, and suddenly, all he could hear was the insistent ticking of the living room clock. It was as if each second was beating directly into his heart. Roberto's hands began to tremble when he held his cup of tea, and sleep would elude him, leaving behind a tiredness that was hard to explain. He tried to distract himself with television, but the feeling of restlessness wouldn't let up. The mere sound of the wind outside seemed to amplify the discomfort. Have you ever noticed how the environment changes when the silence is too heavy? Anxiety, which many still see as passing nervousness, can become a constant visitor after the age of 60. The technical term for this persistent state is generalized anxiety disorder. In other words, excessive worry that insists on appearing even when everything seems under control. And don't think that this is rare. It is estimated that almost 20% of seniors face symptoms of anxiety to some degree. This means that in every group of 5 friends, at least one feels this tightness, this restlessness that seems to have no reason. When no one talks about it, it seems that only you feel it. But that is not true. Let's go beyond what we see on the outside. Our heart beats faster, our breathing becomes shallow, and even our stomach grumbles. The problem does not only live in the mind, it has real effects on the body and on our daily habits. Sleeping well becomes an impossible task. Our mood swings, and suddenly, even our favorite soap opera loses its charm. There are people who believe that anxiety is something for lazy or unemployed people, Who has never heard someone say, "Go crochet and it will pass"? Is it really that simple? What if, instead of ignoring it, we could transform the environment to welcome the body and calm the mind? Think about it. When was the last time you heard the sound of rain and felt like smiling? Or when an old bolero played and brought back funny memories of the time when dancing was the biggest event of the week? The secret may lie in these details. If even plants grow more beautiful when they listen to music, why not try something new? Next, we'll discover how small sound choices can make room for lightness and well-being, even on the quietest nights. Have you ever heard that old age anxiety is just about not having anything to do? That you just have to occupy your mind with any hobby and that's it, everything will be solved? Well, this is a widespread belief, but it doesn't match the reality of those who experience it firsthand. Anxiety is not simply boredom. It is a condition that can appear even on days full of activities and commitments. Studies show that the brain of an elderly person can respond differently to stimuli, and having too many tasks instead of helping can actually increase the feeling of restlessness. Just think of Donna Lucia, who, even with a busy schedule of embroidery, reading, and visits, felt her heart racing for no apparent reason. The secret is not to keep yourself busy at any cost, but to create an environment that encourages calm, like a gardener who takes care of the right seeds for his garden to flourish. Many people are surprised to discover that anxiety is a sign of weakness or lack of faith. How many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, just pray, have positive thoughts, and it will go away"? Although faith and positive thinking are important allies, anxiety is the result of biological mechanisms, such as increased cortisol, the stress hormone that appears when the body understands that it is in danger, even without a real reason. Imagine a fire alarm that goes off even when there is no smoke. This is how the body reacts. The good news is that, in the same way that we adjust the volume of the radio so as not to disturb the neighbors, we can learn to regulate this internal alarm. And no, this does not mean a lack of strength or confidence, but rather a natural response that requires care. Contrary to what is generally thought, anxiety does not choose a time or place to appear. It can appear in the silence of the night when everything seems calm, or in the middle of a lively conversation. The body sometimes interprets signals from the environment in an exaggerated way, and small noises can be the trigger for discomfort. Therefore, changing the sound environment is like carefully choosing the flowers we want in our garden. Each sound can bring more color, more fragrance, more tranquility to our daily lives. And now, tell me, have you ever felt anxious even when surrounded by people or activities? What sound, music, or atmosphere helped you calm down? Share your experience in the comments, as it may inspire others to find their own peaceful haven. If this content resonates with you, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. That way, more people can take care of their indoor garden too. Let's breathe together for a moment. Feel the air coming in and going out, and notice how a small moment of pause can make a difference. In the next block, I will share practical tips to transform your environment into an even more welcoming haven. After all, even the most resistant plants bloom better with a little care and attention. Now, if you could choose one small gesture to experience more calm in your daily life, where would you start? Many people have found that adjusting the soundtrack of the common areas of the house is a simple but powerful way to do it. Imagine making breakfast while playing a selection of instrumental music or classical themes at a soft volume. The sound doesn't have to dominate the space. It just needs to fill it with lightness. To implement this, choose a playlist of calming music, adjust the volume so that it serves as a backdrop, and, whenever possible, put your cell phone away to avoid distractions. The benefits are almost immediate. Your mind slows down, your breathing becomes deeper, and even the most mundane tasks, like spreading butter on bread, seem more pleasurable. Trying this during your morning routine can be the secret to a more serene day. Here's a concrete tip. Choose 3 songs to start with, and notice how your body reacts. Then increase the volume as you feel more comfortable. Contrary to what you might think, it's not just music that helps. Sounds of nature, such as light rain, birdsong, or leaves rustling in the wind, can be powerful allies. For those who live in apartments or don't have access to gardens, free apps offer high-quality natural sounds. During a moment of rest, sit in your favorite armchair, close your eyes, and listen to these sounds for 5 minutes. The body responds with muscle relaxation, and the mind is transported, even if only for a moment, away from its worries. The difference here is in the feeling of refuge. Even in the midst of the hustle and bustle of the house, you can create your own forest corner. A practical application. Combine the sound of rain with soft light and a cup of tea, creating a slow-down ritual after lunch. For those who like to follow recipes, here's a mini recipe for a calming tea. Boil 300 ml of water, turn off the heat, add 1 tablespoon of dried chamomile, 1 thin slice of orange, and 1 pinch of cinnamon. Cover, wait 7 minutes, strain and drink slowly, listening to your chosen soundtrack. During this process, we met Anna, who always felt tight in the chest at dusk. She decided to try the combination of tea and rain sounds. On the very first night, she felt her body less tense and a slight desire to smile, as if she had suddenly found a new season in the inner garden. And between you and me, adapting to these new things can bring a good laugh, especially when the playlist decides to play a bird that is more lively than it should be. Tell us in the comments, what sound or song makes you feel at peace? Sharing experiences can inspire others to cultivate their own garden of tranquility. Another simple but powerful practice is to create an aromatherapy ritual by combining music and soothing scents. For example, light a diffuser with a few drops of lavender while playing some calming background music. This small gesture activates olfactory memories and, combined with the sounds, helps the body understand that it is time to relax. If you are sensitive to scents, simply open the window in the morning and smell the fresh air while listening to the birds or an instrumental track. Sometimes, natural things are enough to transform the atmosphere in your home. For those who find it difficult to switch off their minds at night, try the scented pillow recipe. Take a clean pillowcase, lightly spray it with lavender or chamomile water, place it on your pillow, and choose a playlist of soft rain sounds. Sit up in bed, take 3 deep breaths, exhale slowly, and listen to the melody until you feel your body melt into the mattress. It is a concrete way of signaling to the brain that it is time to rest without having to resort to medication. Remember that if sleep continues to be difficult, it is worth talking to a health professional to assess other causes. Anna, who used to find herself stuck in anxious nights and heavy mornings, decided to try this ritual. At first, she thought it was strange and even doubted the method, but she persisted. Within a few days, she noticed that she fell asleep faster and woke up feeling refreshed. Her grandson even commented, "Grandma, you are more cheerful today." The joy of drinking coffee while smelling the aroma of toasted bread, listening to the radio softly in the background, brought back that wonderful feeling of childhood mornings when the house was full of people and laughter. Of course, obstacles arise: noisy neighbors, lack of equipment, or even the fear of trying something new. In these cases, use headphones with soft sounds, improvise with what you have at home, and whenever doubt arises, remember Grandma's words: "Those who sing scare away their troubles." Humor and simplicity make all the difference. To recap, incorporating soft music, natural sounds, and small sensory rituals can reduce anxiety, improve sleep, and renew your spirits. Try it out and share your experience. Now, how about subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, and sharing this video with someone special? This week's challenge is to create your own calming ritual. Choose a song, a scent, or a natural sound, and dedicate 5 minutes a day just for yourself. We'll soon be bringing you more tips for your well-being. Take a deep breath, embrace your inner garden, and remember, cultivating tranquility is, above all, a gesture of self-love.